Good morning. Let's get on the right lesson. Lesson 3-1. Use the standard algorithm to divide multi-digit numbers when solving problems. This is going to be divide by hand. Standard algorithm means we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, okay? First, let's have a little vocabulary. If we have 240 divided by 80 equals 3, 240 divided by 80 equals 3, or 240 divided by 80 equals 3. Let's label some of this stuff. The quotient is the answer. The quotient, answer, 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 okay? The dividend is the number that is divided. That means this guy. Okay, and the divisor is what you're dividing by. That's the 80. Whoopsies, 80. Okay, so some vocabulary will be good for us. So, standard algorithm. Hopefully you learned this in 5th grade, and this will be a review, and we'll just be adding on the parts that are for more complicated numbers. But just to review, 12 goes into 25,740. So don't think about the whole number. Does the 12 go into 2? No. Does the 12 go into 25? Yes, 2 times. And 2 times 12 is 24. So we're only going to deal with that little bit. I can get into the long part, but I think you don't want me to. So then we subtract that and we get 1. And then we bring down the 7. And it really does help to write the little arrow. So we bring down the 7. Does 12 go into 17? 1 time, and 1 times 12 is 12. We write it, we subtract, we get 5. When we got that 5, you need to check. Does 12 go into 5? If yes, that number was too small. If no, that number's correct. And then we'll bring down the 4. Does 12 go into 54? Sure does. 4 times, and 4 times 12 is 48. Subtract. We got 6. 12 didn't go into 6. Okay, so then we bring down the 0. Remember when I told you about being precise in math helps? This is the day that it helps. Okay, having things ordered and lined up is really helpful. And then does 12 go into 60? Sure does. 5 times, and 5 times 12 is 60. Subtract 0. And if you get 0 as your remainder, that's your quotient. 2, 1, 4, 5. All right, let's practice. Write your dividend first. 5, 2, 4, 2, 8. Goes into box, then your divisor. Okay, and I'm going to do this in 2 colors, alternating, so you can kind of maybe see a little better. Does 34 go into 52? Sure, because 52 is bigger. How many times? Here's how I check. Does 3 go into 5? How many times? 1. Does 3 go into 5 twice? No, because that would be 6. So let's try 1. 1 times 34 is 34, so we subtract. 2 minus 4, oopsies, gotta borrow. 12 minus 4, 8. 4 minus 3, 1. Is 18 less than 34? Yes. Then this one is correct. Then we bring down this 4. Now, here's where things get a little tricky, and I'm going to show you legitimately how to do this without a calculator. Does 34 go into 184? Sure does. How many times? Does 3 go into 18? Yeah, 6 times. So maybe you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to try 6, but because I'm writing in pen, I'm not going to write a 6 up here because I have a sinking suspicion it's not right. Here's how you would check it. 34 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. 18, 19, 20. Ooh, too big. So probably 5. Don't erase it. Don't scratch it out. Leave it there. What if we need it later? 34 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 15, 16, 17. Oh, that one's going to work. So we'll go 5 170, subtract, 14 is less than 34. Bring down the 2. See, it looked like we should bring the 8, but we hadn't brought down the 2 yet. Now, does 34 go into 142? Yeah. 5 times? Too big. Now, what's 170 minus 30 is 140, so maybe minus 34 will be 4. So let's try 34 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 3 is 12. 13. Less than 142. I'm going to put that right above the 2 because that's the last number that I'm dealing with. Keeping this all lined up, big deal. It will keep you organized. And most of us kind of need that. So we subtract that. 12, 6, nothing. Last number, 8. Does 34 go into 68? Twice, which is 68. Subtract 0. So we're done. Okay, those are if it's even and you have no remainder. So let's talk about if you were a little kid. When you're a little kid and you go through this, and by little kid I mean probably last year, 820 divided by 25, so we'd say 25 go into 8? No, so with nothing above the 8. Does 25 go into 82? 3 times, because 3 times 25 is 75. We subtract, we get 7, so the 3 went above the 2 because we were dealing with 82. And we bring down the 0, and did 25 go into 70? Yeah. Twice, which is 50, subtract 20. And then you get to put this little R20, remainder 20. This is when you're little. Okay, there's a way to do it now that you're bigger. One of the ways is with the decimals. So when you had this 20 here, to do this, we put a decimal in, then we bring that 0 down to the 20 and make it 200. Does 25 go into 200? 8 times, and 8 times 25 is 200. So it's 32 and 8/10 is the real answer. Here's the way to do it if you want your answer to be in a fraction. And honestly, this is probably the easiest way to get from little kid to not little kid. So we said 375, subtract, we got 7, bring down our 0, and then we did 2, we got 50, we had 20, and then we're going to go 20 over 25. And your divisor becomes your denominator, your remainder is your numerator. Done. You can simplify that into 32 and 4/5. 4/5 happens to be equal to 8/10, so we're right. Okay, let's practice that with the decimal. So let's write it. Our dividend, 16047. Great time to write our numbers really good. That's our dividend. Our divisor is 60. Okay, does 60 go into 1? No. Does 60 go into 16? No. Does 60 go into 160? Sure does, but how many times? Well, how many times does 6 go into 16? Only twice, because 6 times 2 is 12, but 6 times 3 is 18. So we'll try a 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. If that confused you, go over here in some scrap area. Not like on a whole different sheet of paper, just do it right here, because you're going to use it. 60 times 2 was 120. Okay, subtract. This is a great pen, by the way. 0 minus 0 is 0. 16 minus 12 is 4. And so 40 less than 60, we are correct. Next color. Bring down your 4. Does 60 go into 400 something? Sure does. How many times? Well, 6 goes into 40 6 times. So let's try 60 times 6. 360. Well, could we do one more? Let's try. 60 times 7. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 6 is 42. 420 is too big. So it's got to be 6. And 6 times 60 was 360. And notice I'm writing really precise. Some days you see me do this and I'm not precise. These are the days to be really good. 4 minus 0 is 4. 40 minus 36 is 4. 44 is less. Cool. Bring down your 7. Clearly 60 is going to go in here, but how many times? Well, 6 goes into 44 7 times. We know that. And to get from 420 to 447 is only 27 more, and that's less than this. So we're going to go with 7, which was 420. 7 minus 0 is 7. 4 minus 2 is 2. 0. So little kid, you'd go R27. You could go 267 and 27/60ths. You'd have to simplify. It'd be 9/20ths. We can get into that another day. But what we're going to do here, let's make sure we know this is an added step. We're going to extend that bar, and we're going to put a decimal. And we're going to put that decimal straight up in our answer. The decimal always is going to go straight up in these. You're not going to, well, you do kind of wiggle it around, but we'll get into that another day. Now we can bring this down. Now does 6 go into 27? 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. So we're going to try 4. 60 times 4, 0, 24, 240, subtract 0, 3. Yay! But still a remainder. We're trying to get this remainder to 0. So we'll put another 0 here. Bring it down. 6 go into 30 5 times. I mean, if you don't trust me, 60 times 5, 0. It's 300. And now our remainder is 0. We're done. And here's our answer. 267.45. Curious, do you suppose 27 divides 60 is 0.45? Ta-da! Ta-da! Standard algorithm. Okay, we can practice it again. I'm going to do this one faster and quieter. Okay, good luck.